I'm so glad that you came to your appointment. We have many things to go over. So I looked over the file, and it said that you were getting prepared to go to a nice function. Yes? Okay. So I have a bunch of different things set out for you that I'd like to show you, and you know, pick whatever combination you'd like, and I'll send that out with you. Rentals are good for a couple of weeks. We'll do 2 weeks. I think that's what the file had said, something about you need it for the next 2 weeks. Does that sound right? Okay. Perfect. Well, so in looking it over, it sounded like we didn't need an overcoat so much, but we do have some. We have some that I can definitely show you. But looks like we wanted to go with a black pant, because those are really easy to pair with. Any kind of black pants will go with anything that I have here, so that'll make that nice. And I think the first thing we'll start with is a shirt, and then we'll need to go over the ties. That's a little bit of a lengthier process because it really depends on you. It's a very individual thing on what kind of what the tie says about you. And I have a little lapel pin if that's something that you would like. And yeah, so we've got some things to go over, and I'm really excited to show you and get into them. So let me bring out the first shirt. So give me just a second. Okay. So this is our first one. It's a lovely blue color. Not that I'm partial to blue or anything like that. Very nice color. Of course, this is just for display. This would go. This would get cleaned and pressed. All of those things. Oh, and don't worry about the size. This is, like I said, this is more just for display. We have all different kinds of sizes and all of those good things. So no, so you doesn't have to match this size. The buttons are nice and clear. I like those. A little bit hard to see. Blends in a lot better with the shirt. And this is a little personal preference, but on the underside of the collars we actually have metal slides that we slide in, that instead of giving it more of a flat appearance, we can bend it to make it look a little bit more rounded. Make your neck look a little fuller. Unless you have a bigger neck like me. So we think about this one. Well, you don't have to make a choice right now, of course. This is just showing the different options that we have. A little bit lighter color, lighter fabric. Makes it a lot easier to wear, especially if you're going to be outside. This is a fancier party that's being taken place outside, depending on the time, of course. You might want something a little heavier, something a little bit lighter. Okay. We'll keep it in mind. It's okay. I've got something else. We'll be right back. So this one, I like very much. Love that color. And that color. And I also want to bring attention to the sleeves, that these are more common sleeves. And the buttons, they do have your standard wrist buttons, but they also have the gauntlet button. That's the button that is about halfway between the wrist and the elbow. Helps close it up. This one's even a little bit lighter material. It is a darker color, so do keep that in mind. That can definitely affect. The buttons are more noticeable on these ones, so this would be nice even without a tie, just buttoned up with the top button open, like you see mine. They look very young, sporty kind of thing. It's very nice. I like that. I like this one very much. Very nice one. Of course, all of them have pockets. So, of course, if you don't want to use the pocket, because they're pretty open, we can also stitch those shut. So if you will be wearing this on the outside, it's definitely something we need to know, and we'll have our seamstress go in and sew those shut so they're not flopping open. That gives a little bit more unprofessional look, and for where you're going, we certainly don't want that. This is one of our displays, of course, but sounds like it might need to be going rid of. I see some loose stitching around the collar. It's like this one's getting ready to be retired. And then there's one more special one I want to show you. Even if it's not the one you choose, it has a French cuff, and I'm really excited to show you that. And we can combine these in any way you see fit. We can combine the color with a little bit heavier fabric. We can take the heavier fabric with the lighter color. Any way you want. This is just to kind of get your mind going. So, let me get that other one. So this one I'm really excited to show you. So look at that. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Ah, black is absolutely marvelous. Buttons blend in. Look at that. And the fabric. Oh. Breathes like Egyptian cotton. It's very nice. Very nice. And of course, these displays are the straight cut. These aren't the tailored cuts. The tailored cut kind of cuts in. The straight cut, of course, is just straight. And I believe we have your measurements in the computer, so we would definitely want to tailor this in. That keeps you from having that bubble of fabric that comes out of the up and over the belt. We don't like that. Definitely don't want to do that. And then, here comes the special part. That is a French cuff. Very nice. Does take a little extra starching. And these have black and silver knots on the end there for your cuff link. But of course we can replace that if you have your own that you'd like. You can actually have those polished for you and have them put in the shirt before you get it. These are just nice for display. And they are elastic. Allows for a greater range of wrist movement. But fabric is very nice. It's very nice. This collar needs to be restarched. Yeah, it's a sign that it needs to be restarched. Look how floppy that is. No, we're going to have to take a note of that. I'm not happy about that. But anyway, it gives you an idea. That's really what I want here. If you, oh no, please feel free. Feel free to give it a touch and feel the fabric. Yeah. It's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit heavier. Not too bad though. Not too bad. Okay. Now while you're thinking about that, we can go on to some fun stuff. We can go on to the ties. So we got a lot of ties to show you, and that is my favorite part, is getting to the accessories. So kind of let these three shirts kind of mull in the back of your mind, and we'll get to whatever color and setup you would like, what kind of cuff you would like. I'm a little partial to the French cuff, but that's just me. Don't let me influence you. You just tell me what works best for you. Let's go on to the ties. We'll be right back. You thought I was joking. You got a lot of ties I would like to show you. So let's start with this guy. Let me set the other ones aside for a moment. So this one is almost like a dark blue to light blue scale. Hey, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. That is silk. Or imitation silk than anything else. We don't like the real silk because of where it comes from, so we try to be careful where our stuff comes from. So this is generated silk. This isn't silk from the silkworm. But if you give it a feel, anyone who's not an expert would not be able to tell that. That's gorgeous. See how it shines? Isn't that nice? Now with a nice black shirt, or even you can get away with any of the colors that you see from the tie. Make it blend in really nice. So any kind of a lighter blue, even a darker blue would work really nice with this. But I'm partial to black. Isn't that nice? And since you're going to be using it for a while, you can take any and all of these ties with you. So keep that in mind too. Let's see what else I got. So this one is really interesting. It's almost a combination of two kinds of ties. Almost like a checkerboard tie with a little bit of a paisley. It's a little combination of both of them. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice, very stylish, very modern. And all of these ties can be worn with several different knots. So we can do your typical Windsor knot, we can do a tulip knot, we can do all kinds of different knots. So any of these ones that you see that you really like as a tie, we can tie into a standard bow tie. Now there's a little bit of a caveat that comes with that, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Right now, just look at the designs. See which one really speaks to you. Because I want to know which one really speaks. And of course, with black and silver, anything would really go well with this. Not so much solids. I wouldn't go with solid colors, but anything else I think would work great with this. Yeah. Even on a white shirt. On a white shirt, it doesn't look that bad. Very nice. Now if you want to go a little bit more hypnotic, you actually have a gray, black, silver zigzag. Get that one. Yeah, that one's good and shiny too. It's very nice. Oh yes, please, please. Absolutely. Very nice. That's again on a white shirt. Very stunning on a white shirt. But I think it would have more of a subtle texture, but I think that would look good on a black shirt too. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to go wild, you could have it on a dark blue shirt. It's really want the combination to someone to look at the combination that you're wearing and instantly know something about you. So keep that in mind too. That's important. So keep that one in mind. Okay. Now if you like stripes, this one is kind of a stripe one, but it's a very special stripe that you're not going to see very much of. And that's a stripe with squares. Very nice. So again, this goes very stunning with so many different kinds of colors. Any color you see in there will stand out great if you're wearing the shirt of the same color. If that made any sense. And of course all of these would be cleaned before they would be given to you. I like it a lot. Now if you want to go to solids, we have several different solid ties. Got a nice silver. I have a red one too. Let me grab that. There we go. That, oh, isn't that a stunning red? Oh, it's gorgeous. And the silver look great together. And actually, if you find two solids that you can't live without both of them, I can actually show you a technique on actually interweaving the two together into one tie. But these are even softer than the others. They're just absolutely silky smooth. Yeah. Oh no, please, please. Yeah. Just a wonderful feeling. Yes. They're very nice. And if I may make a suggestion, if you decide on a solid, we could really spruce up the tie knot itself, and that would really draw attention to you, especially bringing attention to your face. So we could do a Trinity knot. A Trinity knot is fairly simple. That's a fairly simple knot to do. We could really dive into some of the really, really interesting ones. Oh yes, some point I'd love to show you some knots, and maybe you can see which one you'd really like. Oh, don't worry, I got more. And who can do without the classic of the classic? How about this guy? Just the standard black. No fancy designs, nothing, just a nice black tie. very stunning on white, but actually it looks very nice if you're wearing a black shirt with black pants, nice polished black shoes, and you're wearing a black tie. And actually, I've actually seen people look very suave in all of it. And more so if we give you a silver tie chain. Oh yes. Very nice. Now, let's go to that other tie I was talking about. And so the other tie we were discussing was this guy. This is your bow tie. This is just your standard bow tie, nothing super special, except that it's getting caught in my claws. There we go. Those are just your standard bow tie. And we can show you how to tie them, or you can tie them yourself. Now, when you tie a standard bow tie like this, it's going to be much shorter on the neck. If I tie a bow tie in one of the regular neckties, it'll be far wider, more like a butterfly tie. Not so much. A typical butterfly bow tie has longer bottom ends, usually used for white tie events, so we're talking heavy formal, because actually what we're fitting you out for is technically business attire. So there's several different levels. White tie is top hat, cane. That's when you're thinking formal. True formal wear is white tie, a top hat and cane. Semi-formal is with a tuxedo. That's actually only semi-formal. We actually think of that more as formal nowadays, but it's actually more semi. And then the next level down is business. And usually for where we are in the stream of time, that's good enough. Unless you're going to a major event. Like if you're going to the Oscars or something like that, we would absolutely not fit you out in this. We take you in the back and show you the real expensive stuff. Which you might have to do sometime anyway. It's always fun to have an excuse to dress up super fancy with the top hat and cane. By tying one of those ties in the typical bow tie fashion, it's a little bit wider, a little bit bigger. I like it because it makes a little bit more of a statement. But if you want to go more typical with the smaller bow tie, then this is what we would give you. And we have these in all the styles you saw. Simply just a little bit thinner. See how thin the material is? Go ahead and give it a feel. It's very thin. That's so it doesn't bunch up so much when we make the knot. Now, I do have one rule, and that is, if you get a tie from me, we have to fit you with one of these. And this, my friend, is a pocket square. This goes on the outside of your jacket. And most of the time when you get a new jacket, they're sewn. And so we can use a seam ripper to open those up. But there's several different ways to use a pocket square. Let me show you an example. So some people can fold these really eloquently, or you can make them a little bit more messy. So here's an example. If I hold it shiny side up, I'm going to grab the middle, pull my paws over the top of it here. I can do it without ripping the fabric. There we go. And you kind of puff that out a little bit. The paws aren't doing so well with it. But you get the idea. It gives it more of a puffed appearance. Or, in the same token, if you take the middle, see we've got the middle there, and I give it a twist, I can flare the ends out a little bit. Like that. And that goes in the pocket. So I have that in silver, and also got a nice red. We have it in black as well. Now, if you want something that's a little bit more fancy than just using a standard pocket square in this faction, let me show you what else I got. My palms don't hold it very well. If you give it a look, it's a little rose. It's very nice. Got that gorgeous black flower outline. Put that right up there on your, you can do it on the outside of your jacket, and oh, absolutely gorgeous. Looks wonderful, especially on a black jacket, or at least a darker jacket. Very nice. And the last thing I want to show you is we do have some actual folded pocket squares. So we have 3 to choose from. This is our first one. There you go. My phone's out of the way there. And again, that would go on the outside. It would slip right into your jacket pocket. It's very nice. Nice fanned, flared look. I love these. These are absolutely wonderful. And then, if you have a black jacket, we have this one. It's a little bit more fancy. It's nice. It's a little minimalist, but sometimes the minimalist is the best option. It's got that nice white with the black trim on the top there. It's gorgeous. And then, if you really want to make a statement, then we have the creme de la creme of them all. And that would be this guy. Absolutely makes a statement. It's that same beautiful white silk material with that black outline. And that with a black shirt with silver cufflinks, with a black pant, those wingtip shoes, that on the outside of your jacket. Yes, it would look absolutely lovely. Alright, so now we've come to the absolute hardest part, and that is making some choices. Absolutely the most difficult part of the whole thing. We're going to go step by step. So, what kind of shirt did you have in mind? Okay. Now, what did you think about the French cuff? Do you want to go with the French cuff and the cufflinks, or? Okay, you can definitely do that. And you're still going with the black pant? Good. Okay, now, what tie worked for you? Okay. Alright, we can absolutely make that happen. And did we want to do that in a bow tie? Do we want to do it straight? And if we're doing it straight, then what kind of knot? We talking like a fancy knot, like a tulip knot? An eldridge knot? We can absolutely make that happen. I can show you some examples, or you can always go online and look at some examples there. Anything you see there, we can absolutely tie for you. Okay. Now, did you want to tie that yourself, or did you want to come in and have us tie it for you? Either one works. Okay. And last but not least, what about that boat and arrow? Okay. Absolutely. We can make this happen. I would make suggestion of having that tie chain. We can do it silver or gold. or when you come in to pick up, we can actually put it on with the tie, and then you can make a choice from there. Fantastic, great. Well, I am very excited and to make some fancy stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in the back and I'm going to grab those pieces for you. So just go ahead and have a seat and relax, and we'll get that all set up for you, and then you will be on your way and looking absolutely fantastic as you do. And I am so glad you came in today. Thank you so much for that. I had a lot of fun making these, showing you all of these wonderful things, and I hope I got you excited for how great you're going to look at your party. All right, you just sit down. We do have tea and refreshments if you'd like any of that stuff. If there's anything I can get for you. All right, alrighty. Well, you just sit, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, bye-bye.